This is different, isn't it? Cardiff City, Manchester United preview. We have got a commercial seal with Quiff, the only sports betting app where you could have your bet supercharged. For every new deposit on Quiff, you'll receive a further £10 surprise bet, courtesy of Quiff's partnership with Full-Time Devils. This bet has been chosen for you, could also get supercharged, and should it win, the potential winnings are withdrawable in cash, including the stake, so there's basically no need for any sort of wager. We're also running a competition. The largest Quiff bet will win a signed 1999 Ole Gunnar Solskjaer shirt. I wonder why we giving that. Right, any bet on the Cardiff and United game counts. We fancied Rashford at 9-2, and ours got quiffed up to 23-4, which means we could win £33.75 from our £5 stake. Remember, T's and C's apply. Over 18s only, and be gamble aware. Link to enter is in the description below. Righty then, there's only one place we can start, and that is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the hero of Barcelona. 26th of May 1999 is coming back to triumphantly lead us to a treble this season. Well, maybe not. But he's the manager. How good does everyone feel?
It's absolutely brilliant, mate, isn't it? Like, I was getting a haircut. I was just getting a haircut on Tuesday morning, like, as you do, just going about your day. And then as I'm done, I'm putting my coat on, I'm paying the guy, and I'm like, okay, here we go. It comes on TalkSport. Mourinho's very sacked. I ran out of that shop, man. I was jumping up and down, proper celebrating like won the Champions League or something. I was so happy. It's a good time, man.
I bet you're devastated. Mourinho's gone, aren't you?
Look, I'm not happy. You should never be happy when a manager gets sacked. I don't think that's the right word to use. I'm relieved because I feel like there was a negative cloud and there was a lot of negativity around the club. The mood was rubbing up on the fans, on the players, on the squad, on everybody. So it's the right decision. Look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I don't know, he's probably not the man to take over long term. In fact, he isn't the man to take over long term. But what he is going to do is boost morale amongst the team, boost the spirit amongst the fans and the players, and get everyone knowing what it's like to play for Man United. And that's exactly what we need before we get a new manager in.
Any issues with it being a temporary appointment?
No, I think it's perfect. 6 months, take your time, get a director of football or whatever, and then get a new manager and tackle much in the process.
That's the thing, isn't it? You can't really get a new manager until you get a director of football, because like, who's going to want to come to Man United, even with all the money, even all the luster and everything, all the prestige, with Ed Woodward running the show? Who's going to want to do that? No one's really. Mourinho did it partly because George Mendes was, at the time, like, I'll do the transfers, don't worry about Ed Woodward. So that's why Mourinho came along. No other manager's going to want to come here with Woodward running the show. So you got to get a director of football. You got to get the structure in order. You got to let them get scouts, get everything built and get everything built up, and then you bring in a manager as the last piece. And the director of football has a say in that manager as well. So Paul Mitchell, get him.
Phil Mitchell, Grant Mitchell, either of them. They'll do.
It's just
Peggy Mitchell.
Get out of my club.
John, Mike Phelan's also coming back, which with the dual appointment of Solskjaer, this seems to me like it's got Sir Alex's fingerprints all over it. What do you reckon?
I was a little bit nervous at the fact that we were going to get somebody like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, not in terms of the whole feel-good factor and whatnot, but with respect to the lack of experience on that bench. Because when I actually got up and read the message, I only saw Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and then I saw some tweets about how he was going to keep McKenna and Carrick in the coaching staff. And I really wanted somebody experienced in there, and there's nobody better than Mickey Phelan to join that squad. I think in the interview on Thursday with the Manchester United TV, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer pretty much said like he himself was still young, Carrick is still young, McKenna is still young, and he himself wanted some experience. And somebody like Mickey Phelan to come slot into that just makes everything about this even more prettier and even more feel good about it, and it's just super exciting.
I wonder if Rennie's going to be involved as well, and trust me, I've texted him to ask and he's just completely ignored me. So I'm hoping that it means he's probably
changed
working
his number when
out.
you got it.
Anyway, long term, who do you see coming in? Mo, who do you reckon is going to be the guy that comes in? And do you reckon it's a realistic choice?
I mean, it's got to be Poch, isn't it? This is the thing. Obviously, there's been loads of talk about Zidane, about Conte and that. But if it was Zidane or Conte, they'd go for him now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because they're available now. Like, maybe they have to get director of football first, but they'd go for him now. The fact that they've said till the end of the season it's Solskjaer, it's clear they're going to go for someone. And I mean, who's a better fit than Poch? Like, he's the one everyone's talking about him. I know there's a lot of people that talk about how he doesn't win things, right? But look, he's managing Spurs. the fact that he's had Spurs consistently be one of the top 3 teams in the country for the last 3 years, like, that's absurd. It's Spurs. He's managing Spurs, and they don't even spend much money. They spend 2005 wages, and they don't buy players. Like, he's an incredible manager. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it's gettable. I think it'll cost a lot of money, obviously, to buy him out of his Spurs contract. But at the same time, you look at what he is. He's young for a manager. He works excellently with youngsters. He works excellently with director of football. He's got a clear methodology of play, right? Like, this is the thing, and it's not like he's a massive tactics nerd like Pep or something. He's loosely enough tactically. It's like, how can we get the best out of these players? And he understands how to drill players. He understands how to play proactive football, also reactive football. You know, he plays with pace. He plays with pressure. His team can be really nasty when he wants them to be. And let's be honest, as Man United, that's kind of important. You've got to be able to kick someone around, you know, if you have to. So there's literally nothing about Poch that doesn't say, yeah, he's a great fit. It's just a matter of, look, you have to pay Levy like, I don't know, 50 million quid or something to get him. But, I mean, if you got the money, and United certainly have the money, then why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean?
And the thing is about that payout, sorry, Steve. The thing is about that payout, if we get the next manager wrong and then the next manager wrong, we have to pay these guys out anyway.
Yeah.
So you may as well just go for someone that's likely, if you think is the right man, pay it.
John, what I was going to say is the criticism of him not winning things, I think that's valid, because I think there's been opportunities to win things. But more than him not winning things is his attitude to winning things for me. Some of the things he's come out in the press with, does that not worry you a little bit with some of the quotes that he's got about winning doesn't matter?
You know, nothing worries me at this point. I mean, we've hit a low of all lows, both emotionally and in terms of the standards that... And the whole Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thing with respect to how some people were saying that it's a bad appointment because he's relegated Cardiff or not. None of that matters. The most important thing right now is getting the mood back up in this club and getting everybody sort of spirits lifted on all aspects. And somebody like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a great temporary signing so that we can prepare for a long-term signing like Pochettino. You know, Mo's mentioned, we talked about this before we even went live. Pochettino sounds the most reasonable. It sounds the most logical. And yes, he hasn't won things, but I think giving somebody like Pochettino, who's vitalized that Spurs side, and who's really made things tick for a side that barely spends money, a side that's, you know, like Mo mentioned, a lot sort of weaker financially as a club. It's so logical. But I just want to end this with a shout for Zidane. I think he's also a big look. I think some people might have slept on the fact that, you know, he's been inherited with a squad, but from an executive perspective, I think looking at somebody like Zidane also should not be slept on pretty much. I think Pochettino sounds realistic, but Zidane also should be looked at.
Say that again.
Who the f*** else Zidane?
Zidane.
He's
American.
Jesus.
And I agree with you, House. I agree with you. He does say some weird things that sometimes, like, oh, it's more about. But I think you got to look at it from a allocation of resources point of view. Like, remember when Wigan won the FA Cup? They beat City in the final, but they got relegated that year because you can, unless you have like a massive squad, you can only really do one or two things at the same time. And I think, obviously he wouldn't have got relegated, but if he wants to try and get Spurs as far up the league as possible, obviously in 2005-06 he wanted to win the league. And I think it's doing that while dedicating yourself to cup runs, in which you may not even win. Cups are never a certain thing anyway. It's sort of like you take the sure thing of league progress and making your side better, getting back in the Champions League consistently. Like, Spurs might have gone for it one, and I always thought he should have won an FA Cup, but he should have won an FA Cup for Spurs. For Pochettino and his progress as a manager, and for the Spurs players' progress, it made sense to do what he was doing. But for the fans, I always thought you should go for a trophy because it's a trophy, it's a cup. But I think from his point of view, what he was thinking, and I still don't really fully agree with it, but I can see what he was doing is allocating his resources to better further the club. Do you know what I mean? Like, progress the players, progress himself as a coach, and get himself and the players to the next level. I still don't, he should have still gone for a cup or something, but I see what he was doing.
Adam, who's your choice if you could have a long-term choice?
Pochettino. It's not something that I'm screaming from the rooftops, get him now. Because after these last, how many years it's been? 5-6 years?
86.
I ain't sure about any.
85 years.
Since Fergie left, it's been 85 years, and I still ain't sure about what I want in life. Like, it's like, what do I want? What is for real? Like, we thought Mourinho was a winner and he was going to come and do this and that, and it was clearly not the case.
Well, no, it isn't. It was the case. Jose was a winner. Louis van Gaal was a winner, and that's the issue. Is that there's more to managing than.
They're not anymore. We saw the signs, and we failed to look at them, and our realist nightmares came true. Those are facts. Like we all said, we hope he doesn't turn around like that. We hope it doesn't happen like that, but it did. Look, Pochettino is the man for me, but I'm well aware that it's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I still think as well, a lot of that no trophy thing comes from the demands of the club. I don't think there's very much demands from Tottenham Hotspur for trophies. I think they want to, get in the top 4, get in Champions League and all that stuff. But just like Arsenal, once they got their new stadium, I don't think the demands are there. And I think Mauricio Pochettino may get fed up and may start thinking, do I want to be at a club where people are starting to talk about me as a manager that doesn't win trophies? And he may start to think that it's Tottenham's fault rather than his. So I hope that's the case. Let's get tapping him up. Serious. Start now.
What I will say is, this isn't a defence of Mourinho, it's more a defence of the facts. Mourinho's had a better win ratio than Klopp and Pochettino at the respective clubs, and both Klopp and Pochettino have won precisely 0 trophies, and Mourinho has delivered 2 of those trophies.
But there's
and he's still lost his job on the back of that.
It's 2 things there, though. There's one thing is obviously it's the demands, right? There's not the same demand at Liverpool and Spurs that there is at Man United. That's the first thing. Second thing is that's all front-loaded. Mourinho's first season, I don't think you'll find anyone saying, I was saying he should go, but only because I could see the problem. I could see the writing on the wall. I knew it was, and he had done, his first season was excellent, I think. Got Zlatan back, got the players playing with, aggression again, swagger again. Eric Bailly looked amazing. Pogba, you're thinking, okay, good first season. Now, but my worry, why I was saying at the time he should probably get sacked is because it's going to start going downhill from here, because the summer that summer 2017 summer was not good in terms of transfers. Didn't really look like it had the same sort of focus as the previous year, and I was thinking, I don't know. But Mourinho's first season was great. It's just the thing is, after that, what happened was, in comparison to Klopp and to Pochettino, is he won games. He won a lot of games, thanks to De Gea mostly, but he won a lot of games. But the club regressed in terms of both morale and in terms of the way they played football. Like, I know Poch and Klopp haven't won as much as Mourinho. I didn't even in terms of win percentage. But you look at Liverpool now and Liverpool when they took over, in terms of the quality of football played, it's for Spurs, it's night and day. For Liverpool, okay, fine, they had that really good Brendan Rodgers team, but that was mostly just Suarez and Sterling and Sturridge. But you look at how Liverpool play, he's improved the squad. Now, I mean, they spent a lot of money, so fair enough, but he's improved the squad. Poch has improved Spurs. Mourinho, after that first season, which was genuinely impressive, he's just taking everyone backwards, isn't it? That's the difference.
Right then, so now we've sorted out the long-term future of the club, and it quite clearly seems like a unanimous vote for Pochettino, and I do think it will be him. Although, can't we give it Ole now? I mean, I know we've not had a game yet, but the way I'm feeling right now, I think we just give him like a short 22-year contract or something. Anyway, so we're going to kick off with Mo, because Mo is top of the league with 9.3 from 3 appearances. Dale's in second with 9.2 from 5. Adam, you're on 7.9. And where is John Shin? He is 7.4 from 5 appearances. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first team. This is going to be very interesting. I'm hearing a little tinkle that there's probably going to be some youth players on the bench. I think we all know who that could be. Are you going to include any of them in your 11s is what I want to ask you. Mo, we're going to kick off with you. Give us Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first starting 11.
Well, I feel my average is going to come down now because Mourinho is dead easy to predict. This guy, I don't know, but let's see. Big David goal, obviously, right? Because he's the man. Very good. I think Dallow's going to come in at right back, because he's looked really promising, and he's young, but Ole is not Mourinho. So I think Solskjaer will take the dramatic and unprecedented step of starting Man United's 2 best centre halves together, Bailey and Lindelof at the back. Really amazing, wild prospect, I know. Lukey Shaw at left back. Hopefully he'll be really bang up for it and not get hurt. Fingers crossed. I don't like him, but I think Matic is right now the stable and obvious choice for defensive midfield. I'm not a big fan, but Fred is not quite settled yet. It's quite clear. So big match in there. Herrera and Pogba, because who doesn't love Ander Herrera really? And then Pogba's going to finally Pogba Unchained, Pogba Free, Pogba Unleashed, whatever you want to call it. now, not only I think we're going to, but I think we kind of have to see a performance from Pogba here, because Mourinho kind of turned half the fan base against him, didn't he, really? So Pogba needs to be like, all right, look, lads, it wasn't me, it was that guy. Here we go. So we need to see it, Pogba. Up front, the big three, Lingard, Rashford, Martial. Rashford up top, Martial and Lingard on wide.
4-3-3. What you're saying, Mo, is we might see a Pogba 2.0.
Pog back again.
Back. Right, John, do you want to give us your starting 11?
My team is pretty much the same as Mo's. I had it written down here. As much as I don't want to see Matic in that 11, nowhere near that goddamn squad ever again, I think he's the more logical choice. And I think for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's perspective, he's going to probably want to start Matic first. My guess is that he'll probably pull him out at halftime just to see what kind of contribution somebody like Fred can give to this squad. And I'm pretty sure Pogba's in that dressing room telling the frontline people, telling Martial, Rashford, Lingard, look, when I have the ball, look up, go make a run, go do something. I'm gonna give you this ball, just do it. Trust me, please. And I know that's what he's telling them in the dressing room. So I'm super hyped for this game.
Can we ring him at 5 a.m. more often?
I don't have to work.
What's your starting 11?
It's very similar. David De Gea in goal, Diego Dalot, Luke Shaw, Bay and Lindelof in hope rather than expectation, because I'm not too sure really who's fit. I know Smalling maybe, Jones maybe, etc. I think Matic will start. I think, like Mo said, I think it's the right decision to start Matic. Like Ole said in his presser or his interview, one of the two, that all the players have an opportunity now. So let Matic play. I think in terms of ranking, he should play. And then if he performs badly, you take him out. Clean say it's a new manager. Paul Pogba and Herrera ahead of them. I'd like to see Fred brought in and Pereira potentially brought in at some point.
I was going to say
in the Matic position. And then going forward, Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, and Jesse Lingard.
We're definitely going to press them from the front. Definitely going to play faster.
It could be a two up top with Jesse just behind them as well.
I think we're in for a shock. I think there's going to be someone resurrected from the dead. I like the fact that he said in his press conference that he's watched all the matches. He's barely missed a United game. I love that. I love that he said he watched all the academy because he's been trying to get them all on loan. I love that. I love that he knows about these players already. So he's going to come to the table here with some ideas. And if he's watched everything that we've seen, then there's going to be certain players that definitely get a chance. And there might be certain players that definitely get dropped. I'm very, very excited about what he's going to bring. And yeah, I want to preface this by saying, all right, I'm saying we're going to win a treble. We might only win a double, right? Okay. I'm not getting too carried away. We are 11 points off fourth place, and it's almost impossible to see what first place looks like from here. I don't care. I want to see us go out and win the next 5 games, and maybe even the next 6 games. That's what I want to see us do, and then we can assess what the guy can do. As I've said a lot of times, a lot of people overrate what a manager can do, but a guy can lift a club. Jose had started to underperform to this club because he'd ostracised so many key players that he was weakening the side by players that were the best players in their position that didn't play. If Ole just brings them in, it's like new signings. We haven't got a team that is capable of winning the league, but guess what? We got a team that can beat Cardiff. We've got a team that should have been beating Valencia. We've got a team that should have been winning some of the games that we failed to win this season. And that's all we have to turn around. And that's all I'm looking forward to.
I hate to say it.
No, you don't.
But 20 years on from 99, Ole's going to win it as a manager. So...
Can
you just actually just imagine that was a possibility that could go down that way?
Look, man, France won the World Cup 20 years after winning it. Anything's possible, mate.
Poor Pogba. Prove them all wrong. Go on with us the Champions League.
Yeah, go on, Pog.
No
right.
pass clear.
No weapon form shall prosper. Remember that.
Now, Ole did say it's all about Manchester United. It's not about the opposition. But this is the opposition section of the preview. So, Mo, what do we need to be worried about Cardiff? They seem a bit salty about Ole if I'm looking at my mentions on Twitter.
I mean, yeah, they're not going to... Well, they'll be bang up for it, or because, the fans will certainly be bang up for it because he did get them relegated. Look, they're really good at home. Well, they're good at home. They're rubbish away. Unfortunately, we're at home. They've won the last 3 games there, but they've also got smashed there by City. Arsenal beat them there. So, like, if you're a good team, you can beat them. So United are a good team. United should beat Leicester beat them there before their recent win and run. They're not a good side, but then the thing is, United weren't a good side. If Mourinho was still in charge, I'd be really worried, because if you look at it so far this season, they've created 100 chances from open play. United have created 138, so there wasn't that much of a difference. But it's a whole different ball game now. The one thing I will say is we have to watch out for Callum Patterson. He's been playing up front. He's bagged in 3 goals in 10 games. His last 10 games, he's got 3 goals. So he could be a bit of a problem if we're not on the ball. But look, they're good. They'll be feisty. They'll be up for it, especially because of Warnock, especially because of the way Ole got Cardiff relegated. But this is the kind of game where you think, they shouldn't be winning this. But United have too much quality. The only way it's going to go wrong is if United just fall apart. But from what you imagine Ole's been saying to them and the way he's probably got the squad unified, there'll be too much belief. So even if they score a goal, United will go out and score another one. There's too much quality in the United team to really be overly worried by Cardiff. But they've got a few. It's not a game where you can just sort of sleepwalk through it, but it's winnable. It's winnable.
John, what do we need to be looking to exploit?
Manchester United's record under Jose Mourinho, especially against teams that's been promoted, has been.
I hate to say it, John. He's gone.
I don't think you hated saying that.
That's the thing is, like, even when we were playing well, the whole 4-0 FC that was going on, when we played Huddersfield after like a string of excellent performances, we looked like ass. So if this is Jose Mourinho, I'd be a little bit nervous. But I think with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's going to be a complete different flip, and I think it's going to be difficult for even Will Warnock to sort of figure out what this Manchester United side is going to look like. It's been so long since we've seen sort of attractive, exciting, sort of a dominating performance. So it'll be difficult for Cardiff, but at the same time, defensively we cannot go unsaid the fact that we have not looked good. We have not looked good defensively. So we're going to need to watch out for the likes of like Junior Hoylett.
John, to say we've not looked good defensively is a little bit of an understatement. In 17 games, we've conceded more than we conceded in the entire of last season. Not looking good was about 15 goals ago. Now it's absolutely dog shit. So don't say we don't look good. It was turd.
Now
it's a traffic cone in net the way we've conceded goals.
All right, look. It's 5 o'clock. I don't have my coffee. Look, you get my point, and it's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Adam, Cardiff, are you asked?
I'm still a bit worried about this one. I'm not going to lie. I really hope there's a reaction. Look, it's easy for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to come in and say all the right things. He knows the right things to say as someone associated with Manchester United because he's heard them for so long. I would know what to say if I was given the Manchester United job. I would have said literally everything he said. So yes, it's nice to hear those things, but practicality, he has to go and put that in on the pitch now. Obviously, this is Cardiff. We could have had no manager turn up there with a squad and still beat them potentially, but we could still lose because a lot of our players are still out of form. A lot of our players are lacking confidence, and you never know. You go a goal down, you start thinking negative things again. So it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be, it could be a walkover, but that relies on us putting in a performance. Like I said, though, I'm not really worried by anyone in Cardiff. Junior Hoylett is all right sometimes.
Oh, right, Adam. Scores are going to be, put your nuts on the table.
It's going to be 3-0 to Manchester United. Ole's going to score.
Mo, scores are going to be?
I'm going to say 3-1. I think there's still going to be a little bit of defensive weakness. 3-1. They'll probably nick a goal, but United will react. 3-1.
John, what scores are going to be?
I'm going to go 2-1 to United.
I'm going to keep a lid on it. I'm going to just dampen down expectations. I'm going to say it'll be 4-1. And then in the last 10 minutes, we're going to put Mason Greenwood on, who's going to score 4, and we're going to win 8-1. And if you know the reference, you know what I'm talking about.
That's what I like to hear, my friend.
8-1, Mason Greenwood debut, 4 goals.
I do think
we'll keep a clean sheet, so
I do think I do think I'll make a debut because you think about it, Lukaku's not going to play, right? So, and he's going to probably start Martial and Rashford. At some point, I guarantee, unless it's like 1-1 or something.
And the form Mason Greenwood's in. That game he put in against Chelsea on Monday, which Ollie watched, Ed watched alongside Michael Carrick, that was almost just an unbelievably dominant performance from a first-year apprentice against a team that hasn't lost in 5 years or something in the FA Youth Cup. It was frankly ridiculous. I think Mason or Chong are going to feature this weekend, and the form he's in, I wouldn't back against Mason scoring if he came on. I really wouldn't.
To be honest,
yeah, I think it's exciting, and I think Ollie knows how. Like Adam said, he knows the right things to say. He knows the right things to do. If he had Chong on the bench against Juventus as manager, Chong's coming on because it changes the conversation around the thing. So I would expect that you're going to see someone. I think Chong's probably ahead of Mason, but if you just want the pure excitement factor, Mason will be the guy.
I do wonder about Chong, because United don't have a right winger. I know Lingard will probably play there at the weekend because you got to get him out on the pitch somewhere, and he'll probably just drift in field and that. But United don't have a right winger, so you wonder, should Chong actually start starting games? Could he actually break in? You never know.
Didn't play yesterday in the under-23s either.
Solskjaer was better than Beckham there one season.
Yeah, he was.
Righty then, so we have got a commercial seal with Quiff, the only sports betting app where your bet could get supercharged. For every deposit on Quiff, every new deposit on Quiff, you'll receive a £10 further bet surprise, courtesy of Quiff's partnership with Full-Time Devils. So there you go.
Hey.
This bet is chosen for you. It could also get supercharged, and should it win, the potential winnings are withdrawable in cash, including the stakes, so there's basically no wagering requirements. And as I said at the top of the show, we are also running a competition. The largest Quiff bet, so you got to send it to us, let us know what it is, will win a signed 1999 Ole Gunnar. What happened in 1999? Does anyone know? Oh yeah, we won it all. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer shirt for any bet on the Cardiff versus Man United game. They all count. So we fancy Rashford at 9-2 for a first goal scorer. Ours got quiffed up to 23-4, which means we could win £33.75 from a £5 stake. Remember, T's and C's do apply. Over 18s only. Be gamble aware. The link to enter is in the description below. Thank you to these guys for joining us. Thank you for you at home for joining us. We wish Ollie all the luck and hope that he can get this off to a winning start. 4-0 FC is dead. Bring on 8-1 FC. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.